Good morning and thanks for joining us here on Sheridan Speaks. I'm Alan Campbell. A Canadian couple was shot and wounded Tuesday in a robbery attempt at a Mexican resort. The couple was cycling outside the hotel zone of Iztapa when an armed man attacked them. The gunman opened fire after the pair resisted. Vice President Joe Biden has condemned Israel's decision to build housing units in a Jerusalem neighborhood. Biden, who arrived in Israel on Tuesday to promote peace talks and emphasize America's close ties with their allies, says the timing threatens the Middle East peace process. The new settlement approved by District Committee will be located in East Jerusalem.
And for more information on iTrain Sports or iTrain Hockey, please visit iTrainHockey.com or iTrainSports.com to find out when they will be visiting you in your local community. In Brampton, I'm Alan Campbell. Now back to the News Center.
More developments today in the case of Canadian Omar Khadr. The Supreme Court of Canada is asking the U.S. government to block the use of information gathered by Canadian officials in Khadr's trial. The evidence includes hours of videotaped interrogation of Khadr. Khadr's legal team had no idea this request was coming. His defense will file an emergency motion tomorrow asking the U.S. government to reject the Court of Canada's request.
Click, print, and pay. This is something new Sheridan College students will start having to do. But for Ashley Wallace, it looks like it's going to be pretty expensive.
I've already gone through $15 worth and I'm only halfway through the semester, so I'm probably going to be looking at $30 per semester right now for when we do have to pay.
Currently here at Sheridan College, we're in the second phase of the Pay for Print project. Now what that means is anytime a Sheridan student wants to print, say for example here in the Learning Commons, they'll have to pay 4 cents per copy. And once their account reaches zero, they'll be asked to top up that account again before they can print. I caught up with John Barber, the IT manager at the Davis campus, to find out what was behind the Pay for Print project.
What we're trying to do is raise awareness around printing costs and people that are wasting paper. And basically, President Turner had asked us to implement something to curb the waste and to make people more aware of environmental issues and printing issues.
So how do students feel about having to pay to print?
Kind of sucks because at first you could just print whatever you need, and I thought it was part of our whole college experience, I guess, or college what you pay for in your tuition.
To be honest, you know what, I've stood by those printers and watched people pump out 20 of the same document because they just keep hitting print, so it does control the people who are paper wasting.
With the Pay for Print project only in its second phase, only time will tell whether or not students will start to use less paper at school. For Ion Sheridan, I'm Alan Campbell, Oakville.
An elementary school teacher and coach in London, Ontario has turned himself into police to face sexual assault charges. Darren Blue, a 39-year-old teacher at Southwold Public School since 2001, is also charged with assault, sexual interference, and exploitation. London police say the charges follow several complaints of inappropriate, unwanted touching. Drew has been on paid leave since January when school staff were told of the allegations. He's currently being held in police custody.
It's the first ever 3D game to be played on a television set without having to wear 3D glasses. And this year at the Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympics, many people from all over the world will get their chance to play.
Canada's rate of inflation rose to 1.3% today, the largest increase since February 2009. Although it's a 10-month high, the jump was still below expectations. The cost of living went up mainly because of the price of gasoline. But the annual increase for 2009 is the smallest since 1994.
Usually, this is the time of year when Dave Maliniak renews his Ontario Hockey League season tickets. But this year seems to be a different story.
As a season ticket holder, this year I will not be renewing my seats for next year. The way the economy is going, my family's money is just going to be focused on things around the house and things for the kids.
In fact, this season, 12 of 20 teams' attendance figures actually went down compared to last year. The hardest hit? The Plymouth Whalers with an 11.32% decrease. And now with the economy affecting everyone, teams will have a harder time trying to fill seats. London Knights general manager Mark Hunter was quoted as saying he looks at the average cost of a season ticket around the league to make sure his tickets remain affordable for his fans.
The cost for two people to come and see an Ontario Hockey League game here at the Hershey Centre runs anywhere between $30 to $40, not to mention the price for season ticket holders. But with today's economic uncertainty, what are teams doing to ensure that these will not be burning a hole in your wallet?
It's very tough just to find somebody up the street who's going to buy the 34 game full pack. Our goal is to get them into a smaller package, introduce them to the team, come out a few times, enjoy the game, enjoy the atmosphere, and then over the span of 2-3 years, move them through the packages eventually into a full game pack.
Whether or not this is his last year as a season ticket holder and joined by others, Ontario Hockey League teams need to be thinking more about their fans than just thanking them with a hockey banner. In Mississauga, I'm Alan Campbell.
And thank you for watching, and that wraps up this segment of the program. We're going to take a short break. I'm Alan Campbell. We'll be back in a moment.